You ever listen to classical music and feel like you're missing something? Like there's a secret language that everybody else gets, but you can't quite crack? Well, today we're going to hand you the key. So you put on a symphony, right? And it starts out, it's beautiful, but then a few minutes in, you just feel adrift. You've got no clue where the music is going, or even if it's supposed to be going anywhere. Trust me, I get it. It's a really common feeling. But here's the thing. What if I told you there's a hidden map? A kind of secret blueprint that composers have been using for centuries. And it's not to box themselves in, but to guide you, the listener, on a very specific emotional journey that they've planned out from the first note to the very last. Yeah, this blueprint is the key. Understanding it is the difference between just passively hearing music and actively, deeply listening to it. This blueprint, it's called musical form. You can think of it like the architecture of a piece of music. I mean, it's the exact same reason your favorite pop song has verses and a chorus that repeats. It's all about creating a structure that feels logical, that builds up emotion, and that just feels right. Okay, but why should you really care about this? Because once you start recognizing these forms, it completely changes the game. You'll go from being a passenger just along for the ride to being the co-pilot, anticipating the turns, feeling the tension build and release. You'll appreciate the composer's genius on a whole new level. All right, let's dive in. We're going to start with the simplest building blocks, the Lego bricks, if you will, that pretty much all other forms are built on. Okay, so look at these two. On one hand, you've got binary form. Super simple. Idea A, then a different idea B. End of story. But now, look at ternary form. See that final A? That return, that's the magic ingredient. That's what gives us this powerful, emotional idea of coming home. And you already know exactly what this feels like. Just think about Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You get the main theme, the A part, then you get that different middle bit, the B section, up above the world so high. And then that wonderful, familiar return to A. You see? That return is what makes the whole thing feel so complete. So now that we've got this fundamental idea of coming home, let's check out how composers take that simple concept and build these incredible, thrilling musical journeys. First up, the minuet and trio. This is basically just a supersized ABA form. Picture this. You're in a huge 18th century ballroom. The A part is a grand, elegant dance. That's the minuet. Then, for the B section, the scene shifts to a smaller group of instruments for a lighter, more playful trio. And how does it end? We sweep right back into that grand ballroom for one last satisfying return of the minuet. Now, rondo form takes this idea of return and makes it the absolute star of the show. You have one catchy main theme, RA, and it's your home base. It just keeps coming back over and over. In between, the composer takes us on these little side adventures with new ideas, B and C, before always bringing us back home to A. The effect is just pure joy. It's that same feeling you get when the chorus of your favorite song kicks in. That returning A theme is your anchor, that familiar friend you're always excited to hear again. It's exactly why rondos are so often used as these brilliant high-energy finales. Okay, now for the main event. If those other forms are like blueprints for a house, this next one, this is the blueprint for a full-blown 3-act musical drama. We're talking characters, conflict, the whole shebang. This is sonata form, and seriously, if you can get a handle on this, you will understand the very heart of symphonies, concertos, and sonatas. This isn't just a pattern, it is a powerful engine for telling epic stories using nothing but sound. So, Act 1, the exposition. This is where we meet our main characters, our musical themes. We start with the first theme, all comfortable in its home key. Think of this as our hero's hometown. Then a second theme shows up, but it's in a new key, a different town. This immediately creates a little bit of tension. The central conflict of our story has been set up. Then comes Act 2, the development. And this is where things get wild. The composer takes those two themes and just throws them into a whirlwind. They get broken apart, pitted against each other, and sent on this chaotic journey through all sorts of different keys. This is the storm. This is the chase scene. It's the most dramatic and unpredictable part of the story. And finally, Act 3, the recapitulation, the storm clouds part. The first theme returns, triumphant, right back in its original home key. And then, and this is the magic trick, the second theme also returns, but this time it's also in the home key. The conflict has been resolved. Our two heroes are finally in the same town, together. This is the key to the whole drama. Look at this chart. In the beginning, the exposition, that second theme is an outsider in a new key. But by the end, in the recapitulation, it's been brought home. That journey is what creates that profound, powerful feeling of resolution that makes the nada form just so satisfying. So, you have the blueprints. How do you actually start using them to hear music in a totally new way? Well, the goal is to go from just letting the music wash over you to actively listening. You got to engage your mind just a little bit. You have the map the composer laid out for you. Now it's time to follow it. Here's your toolkit. First, just listen for the big sections. Can you hear when the mood shifts, when a new part of the story begins? Next, try to follow that 3-act drama we talked about. And honestly, the best tip I can give you? Hum the main melodies. It sounds silly, but it wires them into your brain, and you'll feel this jolt of recognition when they come back. So this leaves us with a pretty cool question, doesn't it? Are these forms rigid prisons that stifle creativity? Or are they the very structures that, by getting us a set of expectations, actually set composers free to play with them, to subvert them, and to revolutionize music? That's something to think about the next time you really listen.